Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk Leeds. More rain, horrible weather, but I hope you're all well and good wherever you may be watching from. Just going to get into a couple of things today. Joe Donohue's done an article in the Yorkshire Evening Post this morning. It's quite an interesting read. So we're going to have a little look through that and also just talk about a couple of rumours. So before we get into the article, please like, comment and subscribe to the channel. All your likes mean that the channel shows up on the algorithm for other people to watch. So some rumours for you. So supposedly Leeds are interested in West Brom winger Diane Garner, who's quite a decent player actually for a 7 million fee. Joe Donohue in the article that we're going to read has dismissed that, said it's not true. And also we were heavily linked yesterday with Brandon Williams of Manchester United. He's also dismissed that. So them two, I think you can kind of put in the bin. Tyler Adams, apparently Aston Villa are ready to activate Tyler Adams' £25 million release clause. And also Chelsea are waiting in the wings as well because they want him to bolster up their squad. I think that's got a bit more truth in it. That sort of makes sense. But Tyler Adams is still unsure on his future, by the sounds of it anyway. So I'm just going to get up Joe Donohue's article in the YEP. Now it says, I hope you can all see that, make it a little bit bigger. Leeds United's evolving summer transfer strategy explained as club yet to improve £50 million proposal. Leeds United will not be rushed into action this summer owing to the belief key squad assets can be retained beyond the end of the transfer window, whilst Everton are yet to return with an improved bid for Willie Gnonto after their £50 million opening gambit was rejected last month. This is a bit that I didn't like. Leeds are unlikely to make any further additions before this Sunday's season opener against Cardiff, but are primed to act by bringing in replacements if important first-team squad members leave. The club are still actively pursuing several targets, in particular a centre-back, whilst acknowledging that retaining Gnonto, Sinisterra, Adams and Harrison would also represent a successful window. And it goes on at the bottom to say, where does it say? It says, meanwhile, reports linking Leeds with moves for Brandon Williams and Grady Diane Garner are understood to be wide of the mark. So, yeah, not going to read the whole article out because that'd be boring for you. You can all go and check it out. So basically, in a nutshell, it looks like the 49ers strategy may be what we've got is good enough. So if we can keep it, we don't need to buy anyone. If people go, we will replace them. Now, for me, I understand it. I understand you can't go and buy a left winger in case Gnonto leaves and then he doesn't leave and then you're stuck with two of them and the wage bill's more and etc. 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 But what happens if these players leave with 2-3 days to go? What happens if Premier League teams panic at the end of August? A couple of their players get injured, say, and they panic and they activate Tyler Adams or whoever's release clause. And then what? And then we can't replace them. So that's my only concern with that. However, I kind of understand the predicament that the 49ers are in because, like it said in the article, like Joe Donohue said, if we was to keep Gnonto, Adams, Sinisterra, Harrison, then yeah, we don't really need to buy anyone. So that would be a successful transfer market. Like when they took over, one of the first things they said is they're going to be aggressive in the market. I mean, that is a sign of aggression, keeping your best players and rejecting bids. So I kind of understand that. One thing I didn't understand in the article is where he said no new faces in before Cardiff, but they're actively pursuing targets. And I think basically what they're saying is that they've got a backup list and that there's people that they're interested in signing if people leave. So we may find ourselves in a situation where we don't actually sign maybe any more than one or two more players if we can keep the players that we've got. Now, I kind of get it because I look at our squad and I think it's good enough to get out of the Championship as it is. I do. I think, if you had the players coming back from loan into the mix, Cresswell, Drame, and you've got Archie Gray pushing through. We've got Dan James back and looks like he's cooking under Farker at the moment and really buying into his system and style of play. I don't think we will need many more players. So I understand where they're coming from. But like I said, my only concern is if this happens lastminute.com and we don't have time to replace them. Because if we do go into the season with Sinistera and Nonto, Somerville, James, etc., we will smoke the league. I have no doubt about that. Like, I have no doubt about that. But as fans, you always want shiny new toys, shiny new stickers, and we want to see Leeds buying players. But it looks like they got a list of players that they want, and they will only get them if absolute necessary or for the right price. Like the Ampadu signing, 7 million, true bit of business. Kyle Darlow, 400k, true bit of business. The 49ers are smooth operators, right? They're sturdy businessmen. They're not going to go and panic buy a Jorginho Ruta for 35 million. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we wouldn't be able to do that now anyway, but they're a complete different regime, a complete different ownership. And, I think we just have to just trust them. Like, it looks like their transfer strategy is pretty much what we've got is good enough. If people go, we will replace them. And do you know what? When you sit back and think about it, that's not a bad strategy to have, because what we have got now is good enough to get out of the division. So then, therefore, you could almost argue, why would they go out and sign 7-8 players when we've already got quite a big squad as it stands, and if no one's left yet, then we don't need to replace them yet. We can't replace people before they've gone in case they don't go, right? And also, you've got to think about we've got other players, other fringe players. Leo Yalda's come back this season. Pervader, Matteo Joseph might have a small role to play. Darko JB, as I said, Drame. The list goes: Archie Gray, Sam Green. We've got all these fringe players who probably would do a half decent job in the Championship. So I kind of understand why they're proceeding with this transfer strategy. And I know it may be frustrating, but it kind of makes sense. And let's not forget the shit show that they've walked into from previous regime. They're going to have to take a bit of a calm and steady approach. And as I said the other day, August is quite a nice month for us fixtures wise. I think we got a few winnable games there. So I think they're just biding their time. It seems like they're being a little bit reactive rather than proactive, which is not always a good thing. But in this situation, I kind of understand it. So yeah, it looks like they're biding their time and they're just going to see how August plays out. And even though it may be a little bit annoying, I think we just have to sort of go along with it and just accept it and put a bit of trust in them. Like, so far, all the recruitment and appointments they've made have been good, starting with Daniel Farker, Nick Hammond, Carl Darlow, Ethan Ampadu. Like, it looks like they want to do things the right way and that they only want to get the people in that they 110% want, not 90% want. They only get the people in they fully want. So from an outsider, I would have liked Leeds to have gone signed 7-8 players, got the best striker in the league and blew the Championship out of the water. But, I'm a fan. I'm not a football owner. So they're thinking probably quite sensibly. And even though it's annoying, I do understand it. So, yeah, get your comments in the section below, guys. Let me know what you think about that, about the article and about the 49ers transfer strategy. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be back again either later or tomorrow with a Cardiff City game preview. So, yeah, season's 4 days away now. So, yeah, it's moving quick. Have a good afternoon, guys, and I'll see you again.